With my 2025 convention season coming to a close, my last two events of the year were Vienna Comic Con in Austria and Comic Con Stuttgart in Germany. And these two events just so happened to fall onto the last 2 weekends of November, so this definitely felt like an endurance race to the finish line, and I'm going to show you how it went.
Dear guests, welcome to Vienna.
It's way too early to be up right now, but I have a flight to Vienna to catch. We're traveling to Vienna Comic Con today, and I don't have a helper this time, so I'm gonna be soloing this one, but I'm not too worried. I've done this before. It's gonna be fine.
Dear guests, welcome to Vienna. Service and goodbye.
After arriving and checking into the hotel, we also grabbed some lunch because it was already early afternoon by this point, and then I called an Uber to transport all of my stuff to the convention center for setup. I don't remember if I forgot to check the table sizes before coming to the event, but I was a little bit surprised by how small the tables actually were. I just ordered a single table when I applied to the con, so I had to figure out a way to actually fit everything that I brought onto the table. It didn't end up being as much of a problem as I thought, but I was panicking for a little moment there, especially because I started doing a self-serve display at the convention before this one, which I'm building here, and it just takes up a lot more space than the pinboard I had before. And of course I didn't bring anything else that I could have used instead, so I had to just cram everything together and hope that it wouldn't look too cramped, and it actually turned out looking really nice. I feel like it worked out a lot better than I expected. Oh, thank you! Completing my setup took me about 2.5 hours, and after I finished building my display and everything in the back was mostly organized, I went out to meet up with my mom and we walked around the city for a bit and ate some delicious treats. I had some Kaiserschmarrn, of course, because I love Kaiserschmarrn. So even though it was really cold, it was also really, really awesome. Good morning. I look so tired. It's 8 a.m. and I am walking to the station, and I hope I can grab a small little breakfast before con starts. I feel like I always forget something, and I forgot my Yona charms. Those didn't sell like insanely well at my last con, so I'm hoping that it's not that much of an issue. And I also somehow lost the card, the illustration that was in my gachapon machine. I went to DM yesterday to reprint one, and I hope that it fits. I think it's a bit too big. I might have to cut it and it's gonna crop the image, but it's better than nothing because otherwise people can't really tell what's inside the capsules, and that's bad advertisement. The convention center is really cool. It looks very nice. I don't have any super specific expectations for this event because I've never been, but I think it's going to be interesting because I have Comic Con Stuttgart in Germany right after Vienna Comic Con, so we'll be able to compare and contrast and see how the Comic Cons that are so close yet so far stack up against each other. So it's gonna be a fun weekend, and I'm gonna go inside and look for, I don't know, a bread. I got my card reader at the hotel, but my mom dropped it off for me. There it is. All right, let me give you a quick tour. So, oh, it's kind of crooked. So I got all the prints set up. I feel like the arrangement is pretty nice, not too bad. I somehow lost the card that was in the machine. It's probably somewhere in my living room back at home. So I went to the drugstore yesterday to reprint one, and it's kind of weirdly cropped, but it does the job. We also got the stickers with the new glittery finish. Keychain display. I'm kind of low on stock on these, and these. Okay, it's about to be noon. It's been pretty slow so far. I think I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sales, which is not that much, but it's not too unexpected. Like, I think at a lot of cons like this, people have a lot of different things to look at, and Artist Alley isn't necessarily a main event, but it's definitely getting a lot fuller now. I'm interested to see how it's going to go from here on out, but I do have kind of a headache right now. Pretty bad, actually, so I took some medicine, and I hope it gets better. I've been drinking a lot of water. But the problem with that is especially when you're solo at a con and you drink a lot really quickly, you have to go to the bathroom like all the time, and you don't want to leave your booth too often because it's just not that convenient, I guess. So I also brought my iPad, so I've been drawing a bit, but I'm not too happy with anything I've drawn today. Happens. Someone gifted me a tiny little green duck. The two of us are chilling behind the table now. The sun is also beaming right over here right now, and it's actually pretty nice. The moment I say that, it's kind of going away, but this is what it looks like behind the table right now. It's not the worst organized I've had it, but it's already a little bit messy, so I've been just trying to put things back where they actually belong because I'm really bad at that. Would you like to pay by cash or card? It took a little while, but around noon I did start to get more customers and eventually got more busy, which is nice. When you're soloing a con, it can get a bit boring or lonely, especially if you're not sitting close to anyone you know who you can chat with. And to me, getting to talk to people is one of the best parts about cons, so I love talking to the attendees. It's 2:30 p.m. and my predictions were correct. 1 p.m. was when it got really busy, and I made a bunch of sales back to back, so it's going pretty good right now. I didn't have a lot of expectations before con, but you always do kind of have like a vibe that you think it might be, and this is about what I expected. Like, there's a lot of people here. Sales are not insane like at my last event, for example, but like it's still going pretty good, and I think like we're definitely broken even with all the expenses, and I'm happy about that. People are very nice. I did sell like a pretty big variety of stuff. I'm very low on my Haruhi keychains as always. I actually sold some OC stuff, which is nice. For my like best-selling prints, they're not selling as much because I have like Persona 3, 4, and 5 prints and merchandise, and Persona 5 definitely does the best, I think, because this is more of a also general fandom comic audience. Maybe the more mainstream Persona does better, whereas at other cons, the more niche stuff that I have actually sometimes outsells like the P5 stuff, which is probably the game that most people have played and most people know. The gacha is not that popular as well because of that, I think, because it's Persona 4. I think if it was P5, it would be better, but it's not that big of a deal for me because I like this set more than the P5s that I did before. I will update you again later. If you saw my last convention vlog, you'll know that I just recently started using a self-serve display for my keychains, and I'm happy to report that it also worked out really well for me at a solo con. Maybe it also helped that this con wasn't like insanely busy, but I was definitely able to manage it well on my own, and I think customers enjoyed quite a lot as well. Hi. It's that point during the day where I just start dissociating and stare. The sales are steady. There's not any like huge periods of nothing happening at all, but it's not like rapid fire sale after sale going crazy. Progress report, we have sold out of Vladine keychains, the Spicy Awa keychain. I think I have a single Host Club keychain left, and we're probably running kind of low on Grell too. Something that hasn't sold much at all is like my Persona standees. I've sold one Persona 4. Ja. Kann sein, dass es der letzte ist, der da hängt. Ich bin mir nicht sicher. I must say, I am incredibly excited for dinner later. It's 4:21, so I still have a bit to go.
Hast du vielleicht noch einen Euro? Danke dir, viel Spaß noch.
I had to log back into customer service mode, but returning to talking about dinner, when you're in Wien, there's one thing you must eat: Wiener Schnitzel. So that's what I'm getting later. Very excited. I already had Kaiserschmarrn yesterday, which was another very important one. Mine?
get another one for dessert as well today. Who knows? But yeah.
Okay, I quickly have to talk about this. The convention center was near Prater, which is this like amusement park in Vienna, and some of the things I found there, let's just say, they're a little bit off-putting. But either way, I got my schnitzel, so that concludes Convention Saturday. Day 2 of Vienna Comic Con, and as you can see, it snowed! It's snowing! It was snowing like a little bit yesterday when I went back to the hotel, but now it's everywhere! I didn't record anything else yesterday, so I'll just talk a little bit about how I felt like yesterday went. So overall it was like not bad. I think it was pretty much in line with what I thought, maybe a little bit less, but the sales were still like decent. Like it was worth it to come here, I think. I noticed a couple of interesting things that apply to like the crowd of people that come here, and also the way people kind of tend to purchase things, and what does well and what doesn't. Even though I went to the effort of like fixing up my gachapon machine, I think this is like not quite the crowd for it. Ooh, birds. I don't have any print that is selling like massive numbers like at my last con, for example. Oh, but another kind of interesting thing I noticed, you know how at cons people will often, especially on the first day, kind of walk around and be like, oh, checking stuff out, I'll come back later. And usually, you know, they're not gonna come back, especially if it's a big artist hall. They either get lost or distracted, or they spend all their money before they can come back to you. Again, which is fine. But yesterday I actually noticed like a significant amount of the people who I remembered saying they would come back, like I remembered them because of their cosplay or something else, they actually did come back. That I think like halfway through the day were like, okay, I'm back. I decided what I'm gonna buy. So I have concluded that the people in Vienna are very strategic buyers. That is my conclusion. But yeah, I'm quite excited to see what today's gonna bring. Since it's a 2-day con, I think the sales and the traffic might be similar to yesterday, because you might as well get a 2-day ticket, but I'm actually not sure how many tickets they sold for Sunday, so this is just my speculation. Like for 3-day cons, usually Friday, at least in my experience, for my table, Friday is pretty good. Saturday goes up, and then Sunday usually crashes. But I've had exceptions to that too. But I think the second day is stronger. Only really applies if you have a full weekend. Like it's really about the Saturday, because like Sundays people have to go back to work the next day. So I'm thinking Saturday will always be just the prime convention day to table at. I think I'm at the wrong station. We keep walking. I need to go to U2. I'm at U1. Oopsie. I got on the right one. Since it was still pretty early and the traffic didn't really pick up until around noon the previous day, I decided to walk around the hall a little bit and check out some of the other artists in there. And I also traded and spent some money, so I got to see tables from some artists that I've been following for a while but never had the opportunity to get anything from them. And I also got to chat a bit more with my across the hallway table neighbor, who has some really, really beautiful illustrations as well. Like, look at all of these! I also bought one of their mugs on Saturday already, actually, so that was really nice. Good morning, Arts Ellie. I just went back to Meadow Bear's table to get their light keychain, because I pulled on their gacha yesterday and I got L, which I was happy about. That light is my favorite, so I went back to get him. I'm so excited to put him on my bag when I get back home. Let me show you the current state of the table. So this is what we're looking at for day 2. It doesn't look very different. Actually, yesterday I realized that I still had a bit of stock of these OC standees left, so I put them out here. And I did sell some, which is very nice and exciting for me. I'm running low on a few of them. I don't have all of my stock out for these because it's just a safety measure, I guess, but this is the only Haruhi we have left. And these are the remaining Vampire Night ones I have. I sold 2 of them yesterday, 1 Zero and 1 Kaname. Monster High, Claudine sold out. And the Spicy lot of stickers, which is so exciting. I love making and selling these. I think the new glittery finish is also just such a cool detail. Also did sell a handful of copies of the zine, which is great. Very, very happy about that. I'm also advertising them plenty here, so I would hope that people would kind of get interested in them, but yeah. So this is our row, and you can see it's still empty, but people are coming in now, so I'll go back to where I'm supposed to be. My drink for today is an Almdudler. I have never heard of this before, but you can buy it here, and it tastes really good. It's just like a carbonated drink with... What is in here? Water, sugar, carbon dioxide, Säurungsmittel to make it more acidic, Zitronensäure, color, Alpenkräuterextract, so like Alp herbs extract. Tastes great. I'm so excited to drink this. Also actually wearing the shirt I bought yesterday, which is also from Meadow Bear. So sick. I feel so cool. I think we're ready for day 2 Vienna Comic Con. Talk to you later. I didn't think I'd make another update this soon. It's like 10:40 right now. I have a feeling that sales are happening more quickly this morning. Like we're not an hour in yet, but people have already started buying stuff. And I think yesterday it took like an hour and a half-ish for things to really get going. So this is good. I already met quite a few people who watch my YouTube as well, which is always really like strange in a good way to me. Like, what do you mean I put something on the internet and like shout into the void, and then I meet people who are shouting back like at my face, metaphorically. They're not shouting, they're very nice. So if you're also watching this video, hello. Hi! Okay, so here's your coin. And yeah, you slot it in there until it like clicks in. Push, yeah, and then you can turn this direction. Here you go. Thank you as well. Oh yes, I hope so. Have a great day, thank you. Welchen Hast du eine Folie dafür oder geht's so? You can tell how crooked this suitcase is. It's kind of like a modern art piece. There wasn't much time to rest when I got home because my next event was right around the corner, and I also decided to make a little something extra for my last convention of the year. I sold out of most of my remaining VIECC zines at Vienna Comic Con, so instead of reprinting them, I decided to make an extended version of the zine with some additional pages, a new cover, and an added afterword. Since the original version was over half a year old at this point, and I've made some more additional illustrations, I felt like this would be a fun way to wrap up the convention year. Morning. I'm at the station waiting for my train to Stuttgart for Comic Con Stuttgart. I'm pretty tired because I had to pack my luggage pretty late last night, and I think I finished around 1 a.m. and then I got up again at 7 just because I didn't want to be late. And I think I have like 40 minutes left before I need to get on, so I got something for breakfast, very important. I am here with 2 suitcases and a very heavy and full bag. Unfortunately, on Sunday when I came back from Vienna Comic Con, my suitcase broke during the flight back. Like one of the wheels broke off, so I can't use that, and it's my large suitcase, so I'm using my smaller suitcase and like the very small hand luggage suitcase I have. I can spread everything across both of those. That means both of them are not as heavy, but I think it's more difficult to maneuver around 2 suitcases. So we'll see how that goes. Because I downgraded my suitcases, I also had to sacrifice some things from my table setup. Like, I'm not bringing my gachapon machine. I came up with like a little last minute display to put the charms on so people can look at them and just buy them individually. They're not going to be gacha this time, but I still want to bring them either way, but other than that, I think we have everything. I'm looking forward to this con. It's actually my last event of the year, just like last year. It was a lot of fun last time, so I think it will also be interesting to see how the con goes this year compared to last year. Because it's one of the events that I will have attended twice soon. I'm gonna quickly finish my breakfast now. I got a scone. I'm curious to see how good it is. But I think I will also grab a sandwich for the way because I don't think I mentioned this, but it's like 6 hours to get to Stuttgart, which is pretty long if nothing goes wrong. If you know Deutsche Bahn, nothing's ever guaranteed. So could be 6 hours, could be 9. It's pretty good. All right, I'll finish this and we'll talk to you later. Time to go. I feel like I really lucked out this time because there were no delays and I arrived in Stuttgart 6 hours later around the scheduled time where my friends picked me up from the station, and then Hannah and I went to dinner together, and of course we had to do some oshikatsu.
Tokio. I love him. Warte, wen haben wir noch? Carla. Den habe ich dir aus Japan mitgebracht. Ja. Pretty Man.
And so far, everything was going perfectly according to plan because the zines I ordered before coming to Stuttgart arrived a day before setup. And despite being a very last-minute project, everything turned out really nice, the print looks good, so I was really looking forward to taking these with me to the con. The following day we headed to setup, and it was really cool being back here 1 year later because I had a lot of very fun memories from the last time. So we kind of just, brought everything in and got started. Because my large suitcase, had an unfortunate accident, I couldn't bring quite everything that I wanted to, but of course I tried to make the most of it. The tables at this con are very wide, but they're not that deep. They're like kind of typical beer bench style German tables, I would say. So you can't go that deep. I would say you have about 2 grid cubes to work with from like the front edge to the back edge of the table where you're going to be storing like your stuff, presumably. I know some of my mutuals booked larger tables that were 2 tables deep, but for me personally, this was plenty of space to work with.
Hast du den noch?
Ich noch ein paar von mir.
Ich hab noch was. Mach mal so.
Everything's better with glitter.
Teleshopping.
Teleshopping.
50 Euro.
53 Euro. Call now. Wen ni hao.
Ich bin auch.
Komm. Sind so Gay-Filme oder was?
Ja.
Oh Gott.
Wir schaffen das. Oh no. Das fängt gut an.
Tada! Mein Schloss. Komm nicht dran.
Nee.
We finished building the main frame. Now we need to put all of the other stuff. I don't have my gashapon this time, so I came up with an alternative solution and I hope it looks good. So I put the card on here. It's just like an acrylic book holder, and I thought I could just kind of clip these on. Then you can kind of browse through them, right? It looks a bit weird, but ich guck gleich nochmal, aber put the price tag here in the corner. We got the zines, we got the new zines, which I sent directly to my friend because I wouldn't have been able to get them in time, I think. I got a bunch of these. I think I ordered like 30. So, is everything okay?
Yes, okay. I just dropped something.
It's fine. Oh no, she dropped it! Yes. My book holder actually cracked in my suitcase on the way back from London, but you can't tell from the front, so it should be fine. I think. I hope. So professional. As usual, there's not much time to rest because we left the house before 7 a.m. the next day to catch our train to get to the convention center, and like the silly geese we are, we did walk to the wrong entrance at first, even though the hall was somewhere completely different, but let's just ignore that, okay? We did manage to complete the setup upon arrival, and this ended up being the largest table setup, I think, that I built throughout the entire year, and it was really cool because it felt like an accumulation of all the efforts I put in throughout 2025, so I was very pleased with the overall look.
Morning. Con started about an hour ago and the hall is starting to fill up, so I'm hoping we get some sales soon. I'm kind of sick, so... Oh, du hast ihn gefunden! Yes. Oh my god. Wir matchen. Soll ich aufmachen? Sieht man ihn? Und deiner? Hast du den gleichen?
Nein.
Ah, du hast die Erdbeere.
Even though I was feeling kind of under the weather, I was still very happy to be there because I got to see some of my friends very early in the day, and because it wasn't as busy right off the bat, we also got to do some shopping, which is always very nice.
Hello. I've got an order here for pickup that is entirely OC stuff, and I'm so excited about it. I feel like this year I've done really well with putting myself and my original works out there, and yeah, it's very exciting that there are people who actually want to buy all the things, because I think there's like 2 large and 1 small print in here, sticker sheet, and the zine. Got the medicine! I traded it for a zine. Very helpful, thank you very much. We were just talking about how we're both not functioning today.
Yeah, we don't. We just don't.
I keep repeating myself and like...
Yeah, and I'm constantly waving to everyone. Just waving.
Do you know the wave that's like the royal wave, the
royal
screwing in a light bulb, like? Hi, it's been hours. I traded a zine for this box of Gilbestadt earlier, but I am feeling pretty drained and exhausted, so I don't know how much I'm actually going to end up vlogging of this event, and I'm very sorry if this turns out to be a very short convention vlog. I know you guys enjoy these. I love making them too, but I don't think I have it in me to record a bunch of stuff today. But I guess I'll quickly update you on how it's been going. So, kind of like last year, as expected, the first, I want to say 2 to 3 hours were not that exciting. Like barely anything happened, and then around 12 to 1 is really when everybody comes in. It's like past 2 p.m. now, and made a lot of sales. And what I'm happy and surprised about is that I think about half of my sales are actually original stuff. I've sold a lot of zines and a lot of prints. I sold out of some prints already. They were low on stock, but still, like, I have a couple of pretty popular motifs, also the OC stuff, so that makes me very happy. I think I've also sold more of this OC sticker sheet than the Dracula one, even though this one is usually much more popular, so...
As you might be able to tell from me getting interrupted during my yapping session, the sales were going pretty good, and I immediately felt better about this event than about Vienna Comic Con the previous weekend, which was very reassuring because I did remember Comic Con Stuttgart to be one of my better events last year. It was actually also the first convention I ever vlogged, so if you want to check that out, I will link it in the end card, but yeah. I was basically hoping that after a bit over a year of actively doing Artist Alley, there would be some kind of tangible growth or improvement that I could see after returning to the same event 1 year later.
Back to what I was saying. Since this is my last con of the year and I've really been pushing for like own original works to be more prominent in my table and really, you know, try to develop them more and push that and be creative with everything, really rewarding to see it actually pay off now at the end of like this year. And it's very nice. I'm sorry if I'm not making a lot of sense right now. I'm having such a hard time actually forming coherent sentences. My brain is cooked. I'm boiled.
She really was cooked because I did not end up recording much more that day, which is okay. All the medicine that was kindly donated to me by my friends and Artist Alley colleagues helped a lot, so thank you very much to everybody. Also to everyone who stopped by to check on me. I felt very, like, cared for, which was super nice. And it did end up being a very fun day since my friends also kept me company at the table.
Comic Con Stuttgart Day 2. Day 2B.
2B, yes.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I am. A bit sleepy still.
Great vegetables.
I don't know if it was the medicine or just my sheer willpower, but I did feel a lot better on Sunday luckily, so I was ready to start for the second day of Comic Con Stuttgart.
Okay, table update. It looks almost the same as yesterday, but significantly more messy because these prints kept falling because I didn't bring the correct tape. It's not strong enough, so it looks a little bit patchworky, messy now, but from afar it still looks nice and relatively cohesive, so I'm glad about that. keychains. This is the very last two I have of this design. And we've sold a lot of all three of these, which I'm very happy about. Oh my god, it's 2B! These are the last two sticker sheets, and we also sold plenty of zines, so I'm gonna go back here again. I started working on this illustration yesterday, even though I wasn't feeling too great.
My sister always jokes that I'm practically glued to my iPad, and I guess she's right because I did keep working on the illustration on and off while I had time on Sunday, and because one of my friends kindly jumped in for me for 30 to 40 minutes on Sunday, I did get to walk around the rest of the convention a bit as well.
Ich hätte gern den hier.
Hello, update. It's 2:30 p.m. We're still here. I got to walk around a little bit this morning, which was fun. Met some artist friends, and some people I know also came by here, which is cool. I just traded some art for blocks. It's 5 p.m. We're dead. Hannah's nodding. Yeah, we're tired and hungry. We're probably gonna eat fast food later, honestly.
Yes, we do.
Because who's gonna cook after con? Not me, not her.
I didn't understand anything.
That's fine.
I'm so sensory overloaded, I don't understand anything anymore. And with the wig, I feel like I hear worse than usual.
Oh yeah, you got like so much plastic
Yeah,
over
yeah.
your ears. Do you want to show your other eye? Sieht so krass aus auf der Kamera. I also just traded a bit and I bought some stuff today. Because what is a con day without spending money? Oh yeah. Hannah got a whole tube.
Here it is.
Yeah, we got matching
I will
ones.
put Ukyo from Amnesia inside. But I don't have the fitting photo card, so I need to make some myself.
You could print one, or you could use the Christmassy one.
Yeah, I think it would be nice.
It would be cute. Yeah, we have like 45 minutes left, and once that's up, I think we'll just tear down the table and like head right out. Get food. Yeah, anything else to add about the day? Your feet hurt?
My feet hurt.
The boots are brutal.
My feet hurt because of the
Yeah, they're something, but they look really good. Worth suffering for some pictures. For a good cause. Oh, I have more. Wait, don't worry. Sometimes there are people like, when I just have one left and I glue it down, they will try to grab it anyway. And I'm like, oh yeah, thank you for asking.
I like your art.
Thank you.
I sadly don't have much money left.
Don't worry about it. Have a nice day, thank you. Ich überlege gerade, ob ich noch irgendwas zu sagen habe, aber eigentlich nicht. Das ist einfacher, weil artist alley things. Okay, bye. See you later.
With these shorter conventions that are only 2 days, it always feels like as soon as you're setting up, you're already tearing down again. So on Sunday evening, after the show officially closed, we packed our bags and got ready to leave. My friend and I were really tired and I was still kind of sick as well, so I think we were ready for the con to be over, but it was also bittersweet because this officially marked the end of my 2025 convention season.
All of that in there. Our bags look so cute. We got Otoyan, we got Ukyo, and we got Time to go?
Time to go.
Oh, guck mal, das war.
Hello, it's time for our end of the year review. Do you guys like my mug? My dad painted it for me. I'm back home. I'm still a little bit sick, but I made it. With Comic Con Stuttgart over, I've got my entire 2025 convention season behind me, and that also concludes my second year of doing conventions. I started in the summer of 2024, so I've been doing this for about a year and a half in total, and it's been
a really cool year and a half. I'm so happy that I started doing this. And I definitely want to talk more about the year as a whole and just everything I learned throughout my Artist Alley journey so far. But first, let's review everything that happened at Vienna Comic Con and Comic Con Stuttgart. So I've got a couple of notes, just some things I quickly want to talk about. By the way, if I still sound a bit sick, after I came home, I thought I mostly got over my illness, but then it like came back to hit me a second time and it was almost as bad as the first like worst day, so I'm still a bit congested. I hope it's not too distracting. You can kind of hear it in the voiceover in the video sometimes too, so I'm sorry about that. I feel a lot better now. So I did 7 events overall this year. There were 2 that I canceled, so I would have done 9, but for different reasons I didn't end up going to 2 of them, so 7 in total. The last 2 were the ones from this vlog. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to compare these 2 cons because they were so close together, like 2 weekends in a row. They're both 2-day events, and they're also both general Comic Cons in the like German-speaking European area. So let's start off by talking about expenses and revenue. Table cost for Vienna Comic Con was around 150 euros. I didn't pay for a second ticket for a helper because I was soloing. So that's what I paid for my table there. And Comic Con Stuttgart was around 240 euros, not including like the helper ticket. With that, the price goes up even further. I think that would be over 300 euros with the second ticket. Right off the bat, Vienna Comic Con is a lot cheaper. The table is a lot smaller though. Like you saw in the video, I was kind of surprised how small the table was, and I managed to put everything on there, but I think it's definitely like pretty much the smallest you can get in terms of table size. And then Comic Con Stuttgart, you get like a really wide table. It's not that deep though, unless you pay for like a different kind of table. I think you can get one that is like 2 tables pushed up against each other and you get more space kind of to store stuff in the back or build a deeper display. For me, it was fine. You get like a lot of surface area to work with from left to right, right to left. So lots of advertising space for yourself. And for Comic-Con, I actually also built the tallest display that I've done this year. I don't know if you could tell in the video, but it was really, really high. So I was pleased with that. So Comic-Con is definitely more expensive, but I think the area that you get, the amount of space you get to advertise yourself is really good. So for me, it was fine, also because I did pretty well at the con. But it's, yeah, like a higher barrier of entry, I guess. Around 240 is a lot of money. 150 at Vienna Comic Con is also a lot, especially for how small the table is, I think, but it's a lot more manageable. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Other expenses, of course, like merchandise and stuff, that depends on the artist. Also, if you're going to have to pay for like travel costs. So for me, for Vienna Comic Con, I flew there, which is naturally more expensive. I took a train to Stuttgart, which was fine, you know. So if you're traveling from like outside of Vienna or outside of Stuttgart to either of these cons, you might also have to pay for accommodation. I paid for a hotel in Vienna, which was, I think, like 300 euros in total for 3 nights. And in Stuttgart, I just crashed at my friend's place, so that was for free. Thank you. So yeah, those other expenses really depends on the person, but for the table, Vienna Comic Con is cheaper than Comic Con Stuttgart, but you also get different things for the money you pay. So talking about revenue, I made about 1.5 times the amount of money that I did at Vienna Comic Con over the same amount of time. So Saturday and Sunday, 2 days. A lot more worth it for me overall, even though the table was a bit more expensive. I had less costs coming in, and I also made a lot more money on both of the convention days. I think in Vienna, both days were about equally strong. I made about 50% of my income on both of those days. I feel like Saturday was a bit stronger, and Sunday I made a little bit less, but I feel like I had people buying larger amounts of things on Sunday, like less customers, but they bought more at once. So I had a couple of sales that were like 80 euros plus, like a couple that were over 100 euros just for one purchase, which is crazy. I think this might also have something to do with my audience. I'm not 100% sure. You know, a lot of the people who follow me are from Germany because I table at a lot of cons in Germany. So I think I had a lot of repeat customers who came back from like the year before. So that's something to keep in mind. Also from talking to other artists like who I know went to both events, everybody kind of agreed that Stuttgart was better than Vienna Comic Con this year. So I didn't like lose money at Vienna Comic Con or anything, and like I made a decent amount of revenue. It wasn't bad at all, but I guess my standard also like increased a bit this year, where I know there's a certain level of like success I can expect at a con of a certain size just from, you know, the experience that I've gathered over the past year and a half. So it was definitely like fine. I mean, seeing at like an event that to me feels kind of similar from like the concept and the size, that I can do a lot better over like the same sort of time span. Yeah, that just kind of made me feel like, yeah, Stuttgart was just better. Doesn't mean Vienna wasn't fun, but I think also with the added like stress of, you know, flying and getting all of your stuff from the airport into the city and paying for a hotel and everything, it was just, I think Stuttgart was also just a bit more relaxed and I had to pay less money up front. So talking about stuff that did well, at Vienna Comic Con it was a very mixed bag. I felt like I couldn't predict what would sell at all. I think I sold a little bit of everything. There wasn't like one clear bestseller. I think since I started doing like my Monster High stuff, that's been doing well in Europe. Not that I tabled outside of Europe this year. Maybe that's a stupid point to make, but Monster High did good. Also my shoujo keychains are doing pretty well, but there wasn't really like a standout item. And I think it's also just more of a general like mainstream audience for these like general comic conventions that aren't necessarily like Japanese pop culture anime themed. So that kind of carries over a little bit to Comic Con Stuttgart, but I think willingness to spend money was a little bit higher, and I had a couple more items that were clearly selling very well compared to others. Something that surprised me at Stuttgart, that my OC stuff did so well. I sold a bunch of like one of my original prints, the sheep print, which I also got some help from some Artist Alley colleagues who reprinted a couple of copies for me because I just didn't have enough. Like, I didn't expect to sell that many, but also I didn't have time to reprint them, I guess, when I realized that I was running low, so they kindly helped me out, which was really nice. So thank you very much for that. I also sold a bunch of the zines that I made right before the event and shipped to my friend, so that was super worth it. Very, very excited about that. And yeah, thankful to everybody who came by and grabbed one. Yeah, I've been really pushing like my OC work this year, and I'm so glad that there's people out there who actually enjoy it. Also, specifically come to my table to buy my original stuff and not my fan art. This just feels really good to me, so I think I also just have positive feelings towards Comic Con Stuttgart because of that. Another print, or two prints that did really well were my old and my new Dramatical Murder print. I feel like this is just something that's become really popular again recently. Like, there's a resurgence. Which I'm not complaining, okay? Again, Monster High did well, and my Black Butler and Oran High School Host Club keychain, those did really well. But yeah, also kind of broad. Like, sometimes people just come by and they're like, one of this, one of this, one of this, and you can't predict it, right? So both of them kind of mixed, but I had more standout good or bestsellers in Stuttgart. All right. Yeah, that's my little impressions of those two conventions. Would I go back? I think I would definitely come back to Comic Con Stuttgart. I like this event. I've been there twice now. Would love to come a third time, also because I get to see some friends there, of course, but I think it's genuinely a good con. If you live in that area and you're looking for like a first con to start tabling at, I feel like that would definitely be a good one to try. And for Vienna Comic Con, it kind of depends. I feel like I might try it again, but I think for me, I would plan like a little Vienna vacation to add onto it, so it feels more worth it to me. Like, I have more reason to go than just going to the convention. Obviously for me it's convenient because it's also like I can speak German there, same currency and everything. It's not like there's a huge amount of extra effort to go there, but it was just like slightly less worth it with slightly more effort involved. So if I don't have anything better going on during that time slot, I would go again. But yeah, they're both decent conventions, so nothing too much to complain about, I guess. If I look back on this year now, and also like beyond that, back in 2024, how like my approach to doing Artist Alley and like my table setup and everything have changed from my first convention, Dokumi, last year, to my last events this year, like MCM Comic Con in October, my really big table that I did in Stuttgart last weekend. I feel really proud and excited to see that I was actually able to come this far, because definitely doubted myself a lot along the way. And it's not always easy to do this. Like, I don't know, for me personally, this job is very like physically demanding. I'm always like dreading the traveling part. I think carrying like the very heavy suitcases is really difficult for me. You know, a convention can eat up almost an entire week, because you need like the day to travel there, the day to set up, and then the day you're leaving, and the actual convention as well. And it can be very taxing, but it's worth it for me. I love doing conventions. I think it's so much fun, and the fact that I was able to have, you know, some level of success with it so far, just it feels very rewarding, and it's just nice to be able to see people like face to face who are looking at your work, who are interested in it, who are interacting with you, and who want to buy your stuff. Like, that's crazy, you know? I show up with like a stack of paper. I'm like, hey, would you like to give me some money for my printed paper? It was definitely a lot this year. I had a couple moments where I felt like I couldn't manage like the workload and all of the plans that I made for myself. Especially because like this summer I graduated from university and I was doing my bachelor's while I was also preparing for Dokumi and MCM Comic Con, which were two of my largest events this year. And I was crashing out like every day. It was not fine. It was not good. Okay, I'm trying to have a bit more like, not work-life balance, because right now like working and making art and stuff kind of is my life. Like, this is what I like doing. But I have been trying to just like plan ahead a bit more and try to give myself more time to do things and do stuff less last minute, which is funny that I say that, because I just literally like the other week made that like last minute extended edition of the zine, but okay. I guess right now I'm benefiting from the fact that I'm not going to uni anymore and I can just focus on doing this right now. And it's kind of working out, so that's nice. But yeah, these last two cons, I felt like the planning went a lot more smoothly than the stuff that I did at the beginning of the year. You know, I had like all of my stuff more prepared, and I wasn't as stressed going into the cons, I guess. Like, I'm more cool now, I'm more chill, okay? Like, I remember how nervous I was for my first con last year, and even like at the beginning of this year, I was still kind of fresh. I think now I've done like 11 events in total, which I think it's a decent amount, right? I applied to a lot more, but I got rejected from quite a few, so I could have probably done more, but I think for this year, like 7 was perfectly fine. I want to try to do about that many or a little bit more next year if I can. I applied to some events. I have one confirmed convention for next year already, which is Dojima in Singapore, which I'm so excited about. Oh my goodness. I have only ever been to Singapore on like a layover at the airports. I've never gone outside, but I really want to go. So you can look forward to that next year. I'll obviously vlog it. I've started to ramble, so maybe that's a sign that I should slowly wrap it up. I don't know. I think this is kind of cool right now because 1 year ago I made my first convention vlog for Comic Con Stuttgart 2024, which was also the video that I came back to YouTube with. I started my YouTube channel when I was like 14, like 8 years ago or something. I'm 22 now, so it's been quite a while. Went on like a little hiatus in between when I moved to Germany and everything. Like, it was just a lot and I didn't feel like doing YouTube at the time. But last year when I went to that convention, I was like, I'll try to vlog it and see if I can make a video out of it. And I did, and ever since then I've been pretty consistent with making videos on this channel, and a lot of people have come here and joined in during this time. And I feel like I also improved a lot as like a video maker with like my editing and how I film stuff, and just gotten more comfortable with that process as well, and I love making YouTube videos, convention blogs, and everything else. So yeah, that's also like a thing that I feel like I gained through putting myself out there more and doing cons last year and this year. So yeah, this feels like a bit of another anniversary in that sense. 1 year since I came back to YouTube, and I'm planning on staying here for a while longer. So yeah, I'm kind of considering making another video going a bit more into detail about everything that I learned about doing Artist Alley conventions and stuff, and maybe compiling some tips, advice for people who want to start out and don't really know where to begin. You know, people who are in a similar position that I was to just 2 years ago, pretty much. Because I think, yeah, I look at everything a lot differently now, for sure. And there's many things that looking back at like the first time I did it that I would probably tell myself to like think twice about, reconsider, do this a bit differently, but yeah, maybe I could share that if that's something you guys would be interested in. I yapped so much that my tea went cold, but I'm gonna finish drinking this now. One last kind of self-promo thing before I dip. I have a coffee shop, which I'm linking down below, and I have a little Christmas promo discount code that you guys can use if you want to get something from my shop before the year ends. So that's a little gift from me to you. And yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again very, very soon. Bye bye!